more calories than we put out, and then you gain weight. And snack every day I'm going to the gym, I go do this. This was just a natural way that they were in communities or environments where moving was more natural. You know, maybe you walk to the grocery store. They also did a lot of gardening. They did a lot of outside things. And he found in those areas, they also didn't use a lot of mechanical, new, like, I know why I wake up in the morning. They all had that purpose. And the downshift is really about stress. These people all had stress. And as we know, stress can lead to chronic inflammation, and that leads to several types of diseases. But they learned how to deal with their stress. And some of the examples were the people in Japan, they took each day, they took time out to remember their ancestors. The Adventists prayed every day. And the people in Greece always took a nap, made sure they always took a nap every day. So they took that downtime every day. And then the 80% rule in the plant slant, I'm just going to add those together. So the 80% rule was they didn't eat till they were completely full. They only ate till they were about 80% full. And so that 20% difference can, you know, mean the difference between gaining weight or not gaining weight, right? And also these communities ate their smallest meal in the late afternoon or early evening, and then they didn't eat for the rest of the day. The remaining 4 characteristics, as it says here, regularly for social time, for meals, and they always put their loved ones first. And these communities in general made good lifestyle choices. So the community in itself supported people making those healthy lifestyle. So I just wanted to kind of review those things from the week, because I thought those were really good things that we heard the last few weeks. And then I'll talk a little bit more at the end about another health seminar we have coming up that can also further help you continue on the path to wellness. But right now, I am going to talk about choice, because a large bit of being healthy is making the right choices. Because very few people start their adult life and say, gosh, I really want to be overweight. I would like to, have a problem where I'm looking like a person who's just waiting to have a heart attack. I mean, people don't say, I want to be unhealthy. They don't want to be clueless about how to relate to other people. They don't want to say, oh, I accidentally ignored God for years. I don't know what happened. So people don't really plan that. So it's really being active in our choices. So I'm going to try to get this video to start. It's just a short video that talks about choice. And if you just give me a moment here. Okay. All right.
How big of a problem would it be for a pilot flying from Seattle to San Francisco to be just 1 degree off course? well, he would wind up missing the airport by 10 miles. 1 degree doesn't seem like much, but in the end, it takes us somewhere completely different. Our choices are like headings on a compass. If our choices are off by even just a little bit, we can miss our final destination by miles. 1 degree, 1 choice is hardly noticeable, but if left uncorrected, we'll end up where we never wanted to be. The ability to choose is powerful. Correctly used, unlimited opportunity is ours. By consistently making the best choices, we become unstoppable. It unleashes our vast potential, and life becomes a satisfying journey of abundant happiness. During this Creation Health presentation on choice, we'll learn about the physiology of choice, the importance of making good choices, how to strengthen our frontal lobe functioning in order to make better decisions, and the trustworthy principles that lead to dynamic living. Dr. Winnie King explores the issues and techniques for staying on course by consistently making the best choices.
The power of choice is one of the strongest forces on earth. It has the ability to build up and the potential to tear down. Are you using your power of choice for good? The power of choice is located in a part of the brain called the frontal lobe. This is the mind's seat of authority. It's the brain's decision center. The powers of judgment, reasoning, social norms, and long-term planning all come from here. Most creatures have this brain function, but we find something very different in humans regarding the size of the frontal lobes. For instance, in dogs, the frontal lobes comprise just 7% of their brain, and it's 17% in chimps. In humans, the frontal lobes take up more than a third of the brain's total area. And this tells us that our reasoning and planning capabilities are intricate, powerful, and complex. Unlimited opportunity awaits those who harness this power by making the wisest choices. The power to choose is having the opportunity and ability to evaluate multiple options and then selecting the one we prefer. Every day we make choices intentionally and unintentionally. Deciding to take action requires us to exercise our power of choice. Doing nothing is also a decision. Living by design or by default is a choice. We either shape circumstances or we are shaped by them. It's our God-given privilege to take responsibility for our lives and align our choices with our values, beliefs, and dreams. The first step toward improving our life is deliberately choosing the better choice in the moment of decision. Having the ability to choose is motivating, and it creates new physical and psychological benefits. For example, residents in a certain nursing home were given more control of their lives and extra choices. They were told they could have omelets or scrambled eggs for breakfast, but that they would have to choose the night before. They could watch movies on Wednesday or Thursday night, but they would have to sign up in advance. They were shown plants from which to choose one for their room and were instructed to water and take care of it themselves. Residents on another floor of the same nursing home, however, weren't allowed to choose what they wanted for breakfast. Neither were they offered the opportunity to sign up for the movie. These were just shown. Lastly, they were given a sense of control. They participated more and felt better. Additionally, fewer people in this group had died 18 months later. This astonishing fact indicates that choice and control have a positive impact on our longevity. Ever find yourself struggling to make a decision? When making choices, remember these two principles. First, bad choices cancel good choices. For example, when it comes to diet, some people give themselves a free day where they can enjoy a few guilty pleasures. Before they know it, they've had chocolate cake for lunch, Dairy Queen on the way home from work, and cookies and milk before bed. Bad choices cancels good choices. Reinforce the choices by counterproductive ones. Enjoy a guilty pleasure, but without wiping out the excellent progress that you've made. The second principle to remember is that good choices taken to extremes create poor outcomes. A perfect example is exercise. Exercise is good, but too much is unhealthy. Hours in the gym can burn exercise altogether. Strive for balance and reinforce good choices by reducing or eliminating counterproductive ones. A healthy functioning frontal lobe is vital for living a healthy life. Everything we hope to be, have, do, or become starts here. And it's within our power to strengthen this part of our brain, which will help us to make better decisions, thereby improving the quality of our lives. Here are 6 ways that you can use to start strengthening your frontal lobe immediately. Choose to think positive thoughts. The right frontal lobe tends to be over-dominant when a person is depressed. When we think positive thoughts, we decrease the negative activity in that area of the brain. Choose to engage in physical and mental activity. The brain and the body affect each other. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which increases organ function. Doing thought-provoking activities such as crossword puzzles, Sudoku, and other mind games also increases blood flow to the brain. Enjoy a massage. It helps increase blood flow throughout the body. And when this happens, the body naturally prioritizes blood flow to the brain. So a massage is not only a great way to soothe tired muscles, but it also increases mental performance too. Get some sun. Sunshine stimulates the entire body. It reduces cortisol, a stress hormone, which is important because your brain functions better when it's relaxed and not stressed. All of this works together to sharpen the mind. Eat plenty of complex carbohydrates. The brain uses carbohydrates almost exclusively as its fuel. Carbohydrates are essential to healthy frontal lobe functioning. Adding complex carbohydrates to your diet not only helps you feel better and think more clearly, it'll brighten your mood. Listen to enjoyable music. Music affects your body, so choose uplifting, positive, happy, peaceful music. Eliminate that creates negative feelings. Ask yourself, what does this music make me think? How does it make me feel? If the answer is negative, then change the channel. We can improve our lives right now by deciding to make better choices, whether it's what you eat, see, hear, or experience. Choose wisely. Live well. In John 10:10, Jesus said he wants to give us abundant life, abundant in health, happiness, strength, joy, and satisfaction. Are your choices creating that kind of life? If not, regardless of where you are today, you're only one choice away from improving your life. You're only one choice away from a new beginning. So choose to intentionally exercise your power of choice. Choose to unplug, rest often. Choose to create an environment that nurtures your soul. Choose to stay young and healthy through activity. Choose to trust in God. Choose to enjoy interpersonal relationships with others. Choose to have a positive, life-empowering outlook. And choose to enjoy life and nutrition. This is life as God intends it. He wants us to live life to the fullest.
Well, we've covered a lot because choice is the foundational element of creation health. Don't forget, choice is within your control, and it's a powerful thing. And most importantly, remember to be kind to yourself when you drift off course. All you have to do is adjust your course and keep going. And if you do this often enough, you'll eventually reach your desired destination. Because it really is true what U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell once said, none of us can change our yesterdays, but all of us can change our tomorrows. That's creation health.
So, quick little video to talk about choice. And choice is in our control. And God made us that way, right? We have many choices. And I thought that they brought out some good points in what they had to say. And we can make bad choices, but God is always there, even when our choices may not align with what God has wanted for us. He is there, and He can help us get back on the path. We can also rely on friends, loved ones, but sometimes maybe they're not around, maybe they're not there. He's always there to help us up. And healthy living is a choice. You're never too old to choose to make healthy living to be a primary choice for you. Healthy choices make healthy people. And the ability to choose is powerful. I thought her story about the nursing home people was very interesting, very telling. There's another study at Yale University where two physicians, gastroenterologists, who were treating patients for ulcers. And at that time, the treatment, there were two treatment modalities. It was either to give medication or it was to do a restrictive diet. So typically, the doctors kind of weigh the pros and cons and make that decision for you and tell you. Well, what they did in their study is they took a group of patients where they explained all the pros and cons of the two different types of therapy and let them choose. And then the other group, they just did kind of what they normally did and just assigned the treatment they thought was best for that person by what they knew. And what they found in the results was, regardless of the treatment, whether they chose to do the medication or restrict the diet, all the patients that were given the ability to choose their treatment did better, again, no matter what treatment, than the people that, as she talked about. And the habit, so once something becomes a habit, it's just routine and automatic. It just happens. You don't really think about it. But there was a choice made to get you to that habit. So I'm going to talk a little bit about nerve cells to kind of explain that. So this is a nerve cell, and in the center there, the big gray thing, that's the nucleus or the body, and it's kind of the central station per se. Then the green, the shorter, I guess you can't see my cursor. The shorter on, as you're facing at the left, is the dendrite, and that's where the signals, electrical signals, come into the neuron or the nerve cell. Then to the right, that long piece there is the axon. The axon is the part that passes the signals on. So this nerve cell's axon is talking to the next nerve cell's dendrite. Well, interestingly, on the axon, there are things called boutons. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. That's a French word for button, so it's a button. And they're like little tiny bumps on the axon. And what happens is any thought or action that occurs repetitively, you do it many times, it builds these boutons or these buttons on the affected axon. And then what happens was, it's easier for that action or that thought to happen. Again, that's when it becomes kind of automated. It's kind of like on that axon with those buttons, you kind of have a groove or like a path, in the grass that gets worn out when your dog walks the same place all the time. And so it goes much faster, and it just happens. Those are usually things you do without thinking. Unfortunately, those buttons don't go away, even if you learn something new. They are always there, and that's why when you do try to change something, sometimes you'll fall back and do your old habit again. A good example of that, people who are alcoholics got their buttons on there, and they do great, and they stop drinking, and it may be years pass, and they start again, but those buttons are still there, so those old habits can still come back. But the good news is you can establish new habits by making another button. By, like, let's say you want to get up early and exercise every day before you go to work. Because you want to do that, but you never do it. Well, so start doing it. You'll do it the first day, you'll do it the second day, you do it the third day. You just keep doing it. Well, as it says here, it takes about 3 weeks for someone to establish a new habit. So it's about 3 weeks to get more buttons for that activity than the buttons of the old activity or habit that might have been you just hit the alarm. So you can change. I mean, choice, you can change. You can do this by actually changing your nerve cells. And again, you know, you may lose the battle, you know, but you don't lose the war. You can just go back, do that new habit you want to do. And, you know, God's there to help us. And, you know, whatever we do, whatever we eat or we drink, whatever we do, we want to do that to the glory of God. So he is there to help us as well as our loved ones, our friends, spouses, kids, etc., that want to help us when we make these decisions to live healthier. And so making those decisions is you're trying to be healthy by choice and not by chance. This was some mantra from another health program that we've done in the past. But it is worth the effort. It is worth all the investment that you do. And anybody can do it, right? Anybody. It's free. It improves the quality of life. It may help some people be able to reduce or get off medications. A gentleman who his physician actually had found out about our programs because his diabetes, type 2 diabetes, he kept having to add meds, some insulin. He couldn't really, the doctor had nothing else to offer him. We did that program for 4 weeks. We would meet twice a week, and he actually was able to get his blood sugar under control. So he and his wife were really quite happy, quite relieved to have that happen. So you can do these things. And if you would like some assistance in the near future, you may or may not have seen these handouts. I know you can't read it here. We'll provide you one before you leave, but we'll be conducting a health and wellness seminar starting later in June. The health ministry's co-director, so Kim and myself, are leading that out. However, we have many, many volunteers. We can't do these programs without all the volunteers that we have. We have volunteers both from our church congregation and also from outside our church that have worked with us in the past. We've done many programs. Kim and I did it all together. And my little pie chart is just showing that the different programs we've done. And I realized I forgot New Start. But we have been certified and facilitated for the program. We've done Happy Beginnings. We did wellness program. We did Creation Health. And so we have built up some knowledge and experience in doing that as well. So when does that start? Oh, yes. Making positive lifestyle choices is the key to improve your life. So what you're going to get, you will get 4 health screenings, and I'll explain what that is in just a minute. There will be 12 lifestyle seminars. We will meet weekly for 6 weeks, and then we'll meet once a month for 6 months after that, just to kind of keep that motivation going, keep learning, keep being there for each other, keep helping each other make those good choices. There'll be a textbook. We'll have cooking demonstrations. We'll also share some practical tips. So we were going to give you information, but we're also, how can you do that? How can you make that work? Because sometimes you can learn it, but then how you do it, it's harder. So we'll help you with that. And we'll always have delicious and healthy meals. We're always going to serve something that's from the optimal diet to help people try different tastes, learn how to put it together. And we try not to make things real complicated. We want to make things that you can make at home. We will have that right here at the church. Now, we are going to start in June. It goes to January. Don't be scared that seems long. But again, we'll meet once a week. As you see, we're going to meet on Tuesdays, 6:30 to 8, once a week, and then once a month for 6 months. And that 6 months is so we continue to be able to, again, be a community, motivate each other, be there to support. And we, as I said, always have meals. I kind of talked about that other stuff. I want to get to these health screenings. So the health screenings, what happens there is on the left, you'll get your height and weight. We'll probably just do your height once, but at the first health screening, but we'll do your weight, blood pressure. we'll do a lifestyle evaluation, and it's a form to kind of talk about what are the lifestyle things that you're doing. And I'm going to say this now so I don't forget. Dr. Kelly has an automated program. I mean, we'll have to manually fill out a form, but then it gets entered into a program that will actually spit out, oh, here's, it's kind of a green, yellow, red, from a risk factor perspective. And then we will also have healthcare people sit down and talk to you, kind of go through it with you as well. Now, we are not trying to replace your healthcare providers. I want to make sure that's clear. And if things come up where you may need to talk to your healthcare provider about your meds, things like that, you can take all that information, your lab results, all that with you. So I just want to make sure we're here to give guidance, but we're not replacing your healthcare. And then the other thing are the labs. So St. Francis Hospital and Health Center will be sending their staff here. We will do these labs and the health screenings on site at the church, but they will send their staff here to draw the blood and do the blood pressures for us, and they'll take them back to their labs. So it's going to be high quality labs that will be done. We're going to do all the cholesterol, LDL, bad cholesterol, HDL, good cholesterol, triglycerides, also the ratio. We'll do blood sugar. And this time we're able to do the CRP. It's C-reactive protein. That's a measurement of inflammation. So that will be the first time we'll be including that in our wellness seminar. So we're excited about that. Now these we want to do while you're fasting because of the labs. So we're going to do these on Sunday mornings, 8 o'clock. You'll see here June 26th, August 7th, October 30th, and January 22nd. The reason we want to do 4 of these things is so we can help you look at your progress. You'll get your labs and things done here. We'll do it at 6 weeks. We'll do it 6 weeks later. Then I think we go at 12 weeks and 12 weeks. And I may have that wrong, but we're just trying to help you from to 8. Oh, and I need to quickly share, I know I'm over time. This is just from our fall class. It was a 6-week class, and we did have a lot of alumni. We had a lot of people who had already done some wellness things, so they didn't have a lot of ways to go to further improve. But we did see an average of 3 pounds weight loss, maximum of 7 pounds. Many people talked about women, especially about losing inches and their clothes fitting better. We saw an average decrease of cholesterol of 13 points. Someone decreased 53 points. Our LDL, we saw an average decrease of 19, and someone decreased by 51. So pretty remarkable. And as a nurse practitioner, when I started doing this years ago, I did not think you could really change your cholesterol levels in this amount of time, but I was wrong, and you can with just lifestyle interventions. Oh, really quickly, and I'm sorry I'm running a little over. So to do a program to cost out at minimal cost, labs, looking at some of the things, not everything, like where our presenters aren't going to get paid for their work, but it would be $400. But we were able to get a grant through Marion County, and then St. Francis is very generous with what they are charging for the labs because they know what the program is and they want to be nice and helpful. And so we do it for $35. That's all. You get all the labs 4 times, all those things, the textbook, everything I talked about, the food. I have 18 in parentheses because we can afford up to 18 people at that price. Now, in saying that, St. Francis called me just before I came, and they reduced their price a little bit more. So I need to kind of go back and calculate. That may give us a couple more people, but that's pretty phenomenal. We will take more people and just figure out how we need to make it work for people, but it's really a phenomenal cost. The CHIP program to do that is in that $400 some range. So we feel very blessed and very happy about that. The other thing is the grant also gives us this incentive. If you continue and complete the whole program, meaning you do the 4 health screenings, you come to the classes, we will actually give you $25 back, which means the whole thing will cost you $10. So I feel, again, we thank God a lot about this grant that we got. Some of the people that actually came to our class last fall are who helped us make this happen. I won't point to the person in the audience who's one of them, but anyway. So we're just, again, really blessed. So like I said, it'll end up being $10. So I know I'm running over a little bit. Kim's going to pass out. There's the program, the health seminar information, plus there's a book about Adventist health and goes through some of these lifestyle practices. So, Holy Father, we thank you for the choice that you give us. And again, we pray that you will help us with our healthy lifestyle, help us make good choices so that we can have good, healthy lives and live better for you. I ask that you bless the food they were about to eat, and I bless everyone that's here.